I'm on a Scott Galloway content kick. I read his book, The Algebra of Wealth. It's a personal finance and career book. He also talks about social issues like finding a mate, creating families, and the simple formula for financial security. That's the subtitle. He talks about how to create wealth. I've been following his podcast, Angry Moderates, and he argues that the younger generations, Millennial and Gen Z, are being economically disadvantaged by systemic policies that benefit the older generation, namely boomers. That his core thesis is that wealth, opportunity, and power are concentrated among the older generation, while the younger generation is saddled with rising costs and fewer avenues to create wealth and build families. He says boomers have effectively pulled up the ladder behind them. He argues that there's a wealth transfer in reverse. Wealth is typically transferred down in generations, but Galloway says that we're seeing a reverse transfer where the young are subsidizing the old. The older generation, relative to history, has a disproportionate share of wealth over the younger generation. Meanwhile, millennials and Gen Z face record student debt, stagnant wages, rising costs in housing, healthcare, childcare, and little political representation in Congress. There is a policy bias, he argues, towards the elderly. You see this in a few different ways. One, Social Security and Medicare. These are underfunded systems paid into by younger workers, but disproportionately benefiting current retirees. We're taking out debt borrowing from the millennials and Gen Z's futures to pay for current expenditures. We also see this in interest rates and housing. Older people are locked into low mortgage rates and have reaped huge asset appreciation in their houses. Younger buyers today have historically unaffordable housing options. We see this in debt forgiveness, particularly during the pandemic. During the pandemic, we had PPP loans and tax breaks for that mostly benefited boomers and business owners who typically are boomers today. Wealthier business owners during COVID. Student debt relief never happened under Biden, and or was scaled back immensely. And so you have debt forgiveness and support that's helping older people. We also have generational hoarding in terms of older Americans not retiring as young. They're keeping their jobs and their capital longer. Home ownership among boomers is high, but housing inventory is restricted. When we have all these restrictive policies that don't allow for more housing being built to keep up with the pace of population growth. Political representation is a huge issue. Younger people are not in Congress as much. We have octogenarians in the Senate who are looking out for their generation's interests. We also have cultural issues where young people, because they are saddled with debt or rising costs, are not creating families and they're not having kids at the same rate. And we're having issues related to that. Galloway argues that that he has a unified theory for the Democrats. He says that they should refocus their platform on economic dignity and generational fairness, not identity politics or niche progressive issues that don't really affect mainstream people and mostly alienate working class and middle class people. He says that the Democrats' winning message should be the system's rigged against young people and we're going to unrig it to make it accessible for somebody to buy a home, find a mate. So that means creating third spaces where you can create connection and community and sociability, to make it possible for someone to own a business, start a business, and trust that their kids, my kids, will have it better than us. For the first time in history, the next generation, our generation, does not think it's going to have it as good as the past generation. The American dream is broken.